And let's see, I think they should be going this time. I don't think they have extended the caution a second time here. Watch for the pace car ducking out, and it'll be under control of Cameron Martineau. Should be right about here if we are ready to go, and we are. Cameron has the field behind him, anxious and ready, looking for the green flag, and there it is. Green flag is out here for the eRace for RP, and it's already 3 wide for the start coming down to the first corner. It's going to be aggressive for our drivers as Juncadella is going to try and force the issue. Looks like Grenon is going to go way around the outside, way too far around the outside. Tony Kanaan gets a nice opportunity as well as a bump, and it looks like we had a bit of an incident towards the back. There's about 3 or 4 cars off track, DJ.
Yeah, that's going to be Scuderia, Clem Fandango, Road Shagger, Team HP Tech, I think all having problems, but look at this start from the heart of racing. Mega aggression here early.
Juncadella takes the lead away, so the 38 gets slotted back into second. Kanaan watching from the 3rd position. Also, watch out for Jamison Huffman back there in 4th, still holding on as they get ready, Greg, to exit the infield.
Yeah, that was a very, very aggressive move by Juncadella. Just got on the brakes late, was confident that those brakes on that Porsche were going to work, and was able to dive down underneath Martineau in the Ferrari. And now things are going to just sort of settle in a little bit. Everybody's just going to find their position and find out just, okay, who's strong, who's weak around me, and what can I do? And of course, they're getting their first taste of just how effective the tow is going to be down these long, long straights.
You can already see
there,
leaving.
Juncadella waving already. Yep.
Yeah, he does not like being followed by that number 38 this early on. Even is trying to break it off to see if he can get that gap and not have to be looking in his mirrors as we ride on board with Huffman. The good news is it looks like, DJ, everybody was able to get the cars going once again, so I don't think anybody wasted their free repair there.
No, I don't think they did. There was that big coming together. We saw one of the cars up into the air a little bit, and that could have some suspension damage that is put on it, but they'll be using this lap definitely as a bit of a reconnaissance lap to try to figure out what it is, as there we see everybody concertinaing together down into turn 1, into the heavy braking zone, and this race certainly on with ST Racing Esports and the heart of racing. Don't forget about Tony Kanaan there behind as well.
Cameron's really sticking with it up there and making sure that he keeps the pressure on the leader, Greg.
That pack of 3 is great, but and he got off. I was going to say, look how effective Juncadella has been with the bite at the rear of that Porsche coming through that infield sequence, but he just pushed it that little bit too hard. Maybe on those coldish tires you were talking about, DJ. Ran it wide, and look at what happened. He drops all the way back to 4th.
So as they come out of turn 6, this promotes Tony Kanaan now up into 2nd. That's a driver who's not usually shy. So is he going to try and push up to the lead right at the start? He's got a pretty good run here, DJ. Not sure if it's going to be close enough, but we're going to ride on board and see the effects of the slipstream.
Well, let's wait and see here. TK definitely pulling up behind as they go, looking to the outside right now. Tony going to try to maybe send that down to the outside of Martineau. Kanaan backs off there, going down into the corner. Not going to be able to get it done. He is going to wait to fight another day.
And the good news
was that overlap that we were talking about there, guys. He did not have the nose of that car out front to pinch Martineau. And as a result, he had to back off because he knew Martineau was going to get in underneath him. Now, I have to say it crossed my mind. Juncadalla's got to fillet his way up to the front.
Well done. As he comes around the outside of the tri-oval, Martineau is going to have to fight hard once again, but fighting harder. That orange Ferrari will move into the lead, the number 16. Your new top spot, almost 2 positions down for Martineau as Huffman tried to poke his nose in. Nothing doing that time. Slight defense from the red Ferrari down to the International Horseshoe, but watching back there, Danny seems to not be in that big of a hurry to try and rush forward, Greg.
Yeah, he's just laying back, probably saving tires a little bit, and just getting into the rhythm. And that move by Kanaan, that was beautiful because he opened that arc up into turn 1. And if you recall at the start, he ran a wide line around there as well. And I think he was exploring that, found that he had some grip, and was able to run that wide line. And that just, the wider your arc is through a turn, the more speed you can roll. And he made it pay off as he swept right around the outside of Martineau.
Coming around the oval portion now onto the back stretch of the Daytona Super Stretch. Tony Kanaan finding himself pulled right back in by the 38. Does he try and press it down into the bus stop? No. Looks like he's going to take Le Mans single file this early in the race. He knows that this is all going to be crunched together as well once they get that competition caution. It was a poor one, DJ, though, for that 38. Here comes Huffman.
Yeah, the Precision Driving Analytics car going to be pulling right up behind their sister Ferrari. Thought about a little bit of a peek there to the outside, but decided against it. But watch out behind, getting a big helping of the triple toe is the heart of racing there with Juncadella. That's going to allow him to be able to close up on the back of this pack. Little bit of fanning out. TK going defensive up to the high side.
There was a bit of a sketchy moment as they came down into the corner. Couldn't quite tell which way he was going to go, and this is going to move Cameron back up to the top spot. Or will it, though, Greg?
Running really, really wide. Looking now, they're still side by side down into the International Horseshoe. Martineau able to make that stick, or does he? He floats wide, gets squared up underneath by Huffman. Still side by side. Absolutely great racing, and it looked like when Kanaan made his decision of which way he was going to go, the other drivers in the two cars said, well, we're going to team up and go the other way and see if we can sort of push our way through, and Martineau making it stick.
That they certainly did. Pushed right on past up to the top two spots, and Kanaan had just a brief moment up in the limelight. We'll see if he gets it right back once again. These four are fighting so hard. I wonder at what point we start to see good old Robbie Wickens get involved in this as well.
Yeah, he's about 1.5 seconds behind in that IBS Esports number 17. We ride on board the hood here of Robbie's car. And you're right, Joe, if they continue to squabble like this, that's not going to be doing them any favors. It's just going to be losing them time. And we know how quick that Mercedes is in a straight line. I've got to think that once Robert gets just a hint of that draft, he is certainly going to pull himself on close.
Great exit coming off of Le Mans there for Tony Kanaan, but he's on the high side. It's a longer way around, Greg. Doesn't look like his momentum was enough to really carry him past him.
And that's part of the game, is you get that run, but you swing out, and suddenly you've got that longer, literally longer track to deal with. And look what that's allowed. Juncadella comes up, uses that double draft when he popped out and gave him a big toe, and up and down to the inside, so close. Martineau still outside, and Huffman may have made that work, except I think he got a little crossed up. Gave Martineau the chance to come back along the inside, and he's going to have it into the International Horseshoe.
Oh, and Danny's even going to try and go for second place. Let's see if he can reel that one in as he tries to accelerate off the International Horseshoe. A little bit of blinking as he's having some connection problems. Huffman side by side through the kink, and the gutsy one is going to be Danny.
Very gutsy, and Tony Kanaan a little bit later on the binders there going into the International Horseshoe. That's going to be able to keep him ahead of Huffman, and true to form, Robert Wickens, you can see him in the back of your shot, that gap down to 1 second, so he's going to be getting a little bit of helping of the draft here through NASCAR 1 and 2.